From a sexual fetish that involves bugs crawling all over you, to another one that involves an obsession with watching people pop balloons. We take a look at 10 ridiculous fetishes you've never heard of. Number 10. Balloons. People with a balloon fetish find the colorful orbs to be a source of sexual pleasure and are often referred to as looners within the fetish community. This can manifest in many ways, including watching someone blow up a balloon until the point at which it bursts, or listening to someone pop balloons they step or sit on. As strange as this might sound, the psychology makes more sense than you'd think. It's suggested that the rush looners receive from the popping noise of the balloon is a release of adrenaline, something commonly found in many sexual fetishes. Number 9. Human furniture. You might have seen this one in a movie or two before and just thought it was part of a strange set design. But a human furniture fetish is an entirely real and existing thing. An extreme form of bondage, Farnham requires either manipulation with an outside rope or gear, or an extreme sense of discipline. Some positions are easier to do than others, such as becoming an ottoman or a coffee table, while other forms of the fetish require being bound to a rack or other device with furniture-like appendages tied to the participant. Number 8. Teddy bears. This fetish is quite simple despite the long and complex name. It's simply a sexual attraction to teddy bears. An offshoot of both the furry movement and akin to the fetish of plush animals in general, the fetish focuses on the same stuffed animals your mom used to tuck into bed with you every night. This fetish was actually something of a sensation in the early 2010s. In 2010, a man named Charles Marshall was discovered to be having sex in public with a stuffed bear, and has since been caught 3 other times, with Huffington Post having reported the story in June 2012. Number 7. Creepy crawlies. This fetish, known as formicophilia, is an offshoot of zoophilia, or a sexual attraction to animals. This fetish is more specific though. Instead of just any animal, this fetish involves a sexual arousal from being crawled on or nibbled on by insects or small creatures. A formicophile would find pleasure in ants running across his foot or a slug crawling on her arm. A formicophile may have a preference for certain animals or insects, or even a part of the body they want these animals or insects to crawl on. Number 6. Religious paraphernalia. Hierophilia is a sexual attraction to religious or sacred objects. Those with knowledge of etymology can recognize this almost immediately, as the word is derived from the Greek hieros, meaning holy or sacred. Those with hierophilia can find arousal from either any religious object or only a specific kind of object. This can also be exclusive to one religion, the most popular of which appears to be Christianity. Number 5. Immobility. Agalmatophilia has a wide range of subject matter. They can be attracted to human-like statues, mannequins, dolls, or even robots. The draw of this fetish is that the object in question is immobile, unmoving, and still for eternity. The way this fetish manifests is often different for each individual. A practitioner might want to become a statue and fantasize as such to find release, or they might be attracted to the actual inanimate object of their desires. Number 4. Crushing objects. This fetish hasn't yet been named, though it's been documented for years. Participants in this fetish will either watch videos of the act of someone crushing small objects, insects, or other items with their body, or they get someone to perform this act for them in real life. More extreme examples of this fetish involve crushing actual animals and has caused this fetish to get a reasonably negative rep with the press and public. Number 3. Being robbed. As terrifying as the thought of being mugged is, people out there exist that fantasize about the experience as a sexual fetish. It is a fetish where someone becomes sexually aroused by being robbed or held up, but can also apply to being charged for sexual services. This fetish is much like a more extreme version of the balloon popping kink. The fear and adrenaline rush present during the situation arouses the practitioner, as does the sense of helplessness and submission. For those on the opposite end of the spectrum, kleptolagnia is a fetish surrounding the act of breaking and entering or robbing someone. Number 2. Armpits. Perhaps not the weirdest fetish on the list, masculagnia is a fetish linked to sexual attraction to someone's underarm. This can focus on the feel, smell, or presentation of the area, and participants often have an ideal type of armpit they fantasize about over others. A sizable number of people might enjoy kissing or touching armpits during foreplay, but the fetish focuses on an overwhelming desire for them. Someone who has an armpit fetish might focus on the desired area more than a partner's genitals. Number 1. Accidents and disasters. Rounding out the list is one of the more ethically questionable fetishes, symphorophilia. This fetish involves sexual arousal derived from either watching a travesty or staging one. This tragedy in question can vary from car crashes to tsunamis, fires to bridges collapsing. The fetish received some mainstream notice when the 1973 novel Crash was adapted into a film in 1996. The characters in both adaptations are symphorophiles, with an obsession with car crashes. Professor John Money first coined the term in the paper Paraphelias, Phenomenology and Classification, writing about the fetish that is, like a game of Russian roulette, it may end in death, alone or with the partner. However, flirting with disaster rather than suicide and murder is the trigger responsible for autoerotic arousal and excitement. If you like this video, why not hit that like button? And remember to hit the subscribe button for more videos every 2 days.